Namaskar, good evening to everybody. On behalf of Victoria Memorial Hall and Birati Samuho Performers Collective, in collaboration with Kattaikkuttu Sangam and Narthaki, we welcome you to the opening of this exhibition, which has been titled Intervention, which is a documentation of female performers entering the professional Kattaikkuttu world, which until recently was a male bastion, like so many things in our ages-old patriarchal society. আমাদের সঙ্গে বিশিষ্ট অতিথি রয়েছেন আমাদের শ্রী শমিক বন্দ্যোপাধ্যায়, who doesn't need any introduction. The Shomik Bandyopadhyay is the brain of the arts in this part of the country, throughout the country and internationally. And Kathakali Jana, as most of you know, is also, among other things, a very, very acclaimed dance critic. It is through Kathakali that we came in contact with the Samuho group. So তাদের সঙ্গে পরিচয় হয়েছে Kathakali through দিয়েই. So we are very, very grateful to Kathakali for that, for introducing this group. আর ওদের সঙ্গে আমরা অলরেডি একটা পারফরমেন্স করেছি ওই হিডিম্বা কথা যেটা, হ্যাঁ, তো হিডিম্বা কথা, which was very much appreciated by all those who saw it. আর যখন এই এক্সিবিশনের কথা উঠলো, আমরা বললাম যে হ্যাঁ, অবশ্যই করা যাবে এই ছোট্ট স্পেসে, কারণ এটার আরেকটা কনটেক্সট আমি বলে দিই যে পরশু দিন আমাদের একটা কনভারসেশন আছে, এই কনফারেন্স হলেই হবে, বিটুইন Hana Dibroi Rajagopal P. Rajagopal and in conversation with Rustam Barucha about that group and about how they go about their work and what is the latest in what they are doing and so on. So that is a conversation. So this exhibition will culminate in that kind of conversation day after tomorrow. So I hope that all of you will come back for the conversation, and during the next 2 days, of course, the exhibition is open for the public, and Victoria Memorial Hall has a lot of visitors during the day. So I'm sure if your volunteers guide them properly, they will all come and have a look at this exhibition. So with those few words, Titash, would you like to say something at the beginning? A little bit of backgrounder before Shomikda says something? Yeah, because after Shomikda says something, you will have nothing to say.
Yes, that's true. আচ্ছা, আমি বাংলাতেই বলছি। হ্যাঁ, যেটা হচ্ছে যে আমরা সমূহতে, যেহেতু আমরা প্রধানত মহিলা এবং কুয়ার পরিচয়ভুক্ত মানুষদের থিয়েটার দল, সেহেতু আমরা সবসময়তেই চেষ্টা করি যে আমরা যে কনটেক্সটে নাটক করার চেষ্টা করছি বা যে কোনো শিল্প তৈরি করার চেষ্টা করছি, সেটা কিভাবে বিভিন্ন পদ্ধতিতে মানুষের কাছে পৌঁছে দেওয়া যায়। সবসময় থিয়েটারের মাধ্যমেই হয় এরকমটা নয়, আমরা নানান রকমভাবে চেষ্টা করি। এবং আমাদের নিজেদের, যেহেতু নিজেদের নিয়ে অনেক প্রশ্ন আছে, সেহেতু আমাদের চারপাশের জগৎ নিয়ে অনেক প্রশ্ন আছে। তার সঙ্গে যেটা হয়, ইতিহাস পড়া বা ইতিহাস কিভাবে পড়া হচ্ছে তাই নিয়ে যখন কথা ওঠে, তখন সবসময়ই কিছু কিছু জায়গায় আমরা দেখতে পাই খানিকটা গ্যাপ রয়েছে, খানিকটা জিনিস হয়তো লেখা নেই বা মিস হয়ে গেছে, এরকম একটা মনে হয়। মোটমাট কিছু মানুষের কি বলবো, অ্যাবসেন্স চোখে পড়ে, মহিলাদের অ্যাবসেন্স চোখে পড়ে, কুয়ার মানুষরা, সমপ্রেমী মানুষ বা নিজের মনের মতন লিঙ্গ নিয়ে বেঁচে থাকতে পারার অধিকার, এই সমস্ত বিষয়গুলোই এত নতুন যে আমাদের সকলের জন্য সেগুলো অনেক সময় আমাদের প্রশ্নচিহ্নের সামনে দাঁড় করায়। সেই প্রশ্ন থেকেই কিন্তু এই কাজটার মধ্যে আমাদের ঢোকা। কাটাইকুট্টু সঙ্গমের সঙ্গে আমাদের যোগাযোগ করিয়ে দেন রুস্তম বারুচা, এবং তাদের কাজ সম্বন্ধে আমরা জানতে পারি ভারতবর্ষে বহু ফর্ম রয়েছে যেখানে পুরুষ শরীরযুক্ত মানুষরা, সেভাবেই বলবো, পুরুষ শরীরের মানুষরা প্রধানত পারফর্ম করেন এবং মহিলা পুরুষ সমস্ত রোলেই অভিনয় করেন। এরকম বহু পারম্পরিক নাট্যশৈলী রয়েছে, কিন্তু যখন মহিলারা সেই জায়গাটায় আসছেন, যখন যে কোনো মানুষ যে কোনো ভূমিকায় অভিনয় করতে পারবেন এরকম একটা কনভেনশন তৈরি হচ্ছে একটা নাট্যশৈলীতে, তখন সেটা আমাদের জন্য খুব ইন্টারেস্টিং, কারণ আমরাও ঠিক সেইভাবেই আমাদের কাস্টিং যদি হয়, আমাদের চরিত্রায়ন ইত্যাদিও আমাদের কী ধরনের শরীর এবং সেই শরীরের সঙ্গে কনফার্মিং সিস রোলেই আমরা সবসময় যে নিজেদের কাস্ট করি এমনটা নয়। ফলে আমি জানি না এইভাবে কুইয়ার পারফরমেন্স ল্যাঙ্গুয়েজ বলে কোট আনকোট করে এখনই কিছু দাগিয়ে দেওয়া যায় কি না, কিন্তু ইফ দ্যাট ইজ আ পসিবিলিটি সেইটাও আমরা খুঁজে দেখতে চাই। সেইখান থেকেই আমাদের এই কাজটা শুরু হয় এবং বহু প্রশ্ন উঠে আসে। প্রশ্ন এবং সেই প্রশ্ন থেকে আমরা যতটুকু এগিয়েছি সেটাই এই এক্সিবিশন, এবং তার শেষে আমাদের আরও প্রশ্ন তৈরি হয়েছে, ফলে কাজটা চলবে। এটুকুই বলার, সকলের সঙ্গে শেয়ার করে নেওয়া। খানিকটা গল্পের ছলেই আমরা তো গবেষক সেই অর্থে নই, আমরা পারফর্মার, এবং আমাদের এই পারফরমেন্স করার অভিজ্ঞতা এবং তাই নিয়ে শরীরে তৈরি হতে থাকা প্রশ্নগুলো নিয়েই তার সামাজিক প্রেক্ষাপটকে খোঁজার চেষ্টা করা হয়েছে। এটুকুই, ধন্যবাদ।
ধন্যবাদ তিতাস। এবার আমি অবশ্যই অনুরোধ করব কথাকলিকে দু একটা কথা বলার জন্য এই গ্রুপটার সম্বন্ধে, এবং তারপরে অবশ্যই সে শ্রমিকদের কাছে চলে যাব। কিন্তু তার আগে একটা কাজ সেরে নিতে চাই। আমি আমাদের ভিক্টোরিয়া মেমোরিয়াল হলের পক্ষ থেকে একটা ছোট্ট মেমেন্টো তুলে দিতে চাই। সুমাইয়া, তুমি দিয়ে দাও কথাকলিকে। হ্যাঁ, সুমাইয়া আমাদের এডুকেশন ডিপার্টমেন্টের অ্যাক্টিভিটি কোঅর্ডিনেটর, এবং 11 বছর বাদে এই মাসের শেষে আমাদের ছেড়ে দিয়ে ব্যাঙ্গালোরে চলে যাচ্ছে, কারণ তার বর এখানে চাকরি করে। সো ন্যাচারালি ওকে শি হ্যাজ টু মুভ অন। সো শি হ্যাজ বিন উইথ আস ফর 11 ইয়ার্স নাও। আর শিল্পী আমাদের সঙ্গে ওই প্রায় ওই সময়ই আছে, আরও একটু বেশি বোধহয়। তো শিল্পীকে এডুকেশন ইউনিটের পক্ষ থেকে অনুরোধ করব শ্রমিকদের হাতে ওই এটা তুলে দেওয়ার জন্য। And now it is Kattaikkuttu.
It is extremely embarrassing for me to even have to sit on this podium with someone as illustrious as Sri Shomik Bandopadhyay, and then having to talk is even more difficult. But I only have a very small thing to say. Introduced to Samuho through Otho Hirimba Kotha some 3.5 years back. It was perhaps one of the first shows, and I was extremely impressed by it, although that's an understatement, and I caught it several times afterwards because I wanted to discover and keep discovering the layers and the various allusions, and you know, the various references that the play makes. And I thought it was a very, very important piece of work, and I kept connecting with Titash, and I sort of tried and stayed connected with Titash, because I thought it was a very, very enriching experience for me personally, and I felt that other people also needed to connect with Samuho. And then I also saw Bhashai Lire, their other production, and this sort of continued. And meanwhile, during all of this was, while this was happening, Titash happened to talk to me about this exhibition, and I thought that Victoria Memorial instantly came to my head during that conversation, actually. And she didn't know anybody, and I said, of course, I mean, I'd be happy to make the connection, and that was it. I just placed a call to Rajuda, and the rest has just fallen into place as it should have, and things are going well. I'm very, very excited to be here. It is very enriching to experience Kattaikkuttu, about which I must confess I knew very little, and I still know very little, but at least I am a little more aware of what to look for, and what fantastic achievement it has been for women to enter this male bastion. I will not venture to say anything more. Thank you for having me here, and I would like to listen to Shomikda like everybody else here. Thank you.
থ্যাংক ইউ গতকালি শ্রমিকদা বিফোর আই গিভ ইউ দ্য মাইক্রোফোন এটা বলে রাখি যে আমাদের সেক্রেটারি অ্যান্ড কিউরেটর ডক্টর জয়ন্ত সেনগুপ্ত পার্সোনালি অ্যাপোলোজাইজেস টু ইউ দ্যাট হি কুডন্ট বি প্রেজেন্ট হিয়ার বিকজ অনিবার্য কারণে ওনাকে ওই প্রেসিডেন্সি ইউনিভার্সিটিতে আরেকটা অনুষ্ঠানে উপস্থিত থাকতে হয়েছিল সো হি উইল কাম ব্যাক আ লিটল লেটার বাট হি কুডন্ট বি হিয়ার রাইট এট দিস মোমেন্ট সো হি হ্যাজ রিকোয়েস্টেড মি টু কনভে হিজ অ্যাপোলজিস টু সো এবার শ্রমিকদা বক্তব্য রাখেন about the exhibition, about the context, and about this particular occasion.
Now, my connection with Shamu has been more recent than Kathakali's, and the first time I saw the play Otto Hirimba Kotha at the Experimenter, it was quite a revelation, and I didn't know them at all. They had called me over and I discovered them. And it was a discovery really, as far as I'm concerned. And I was dying to see it a second time, and it was very kind of them that they got in touch with me when they were having another show, and I went to watch it again. And then I got really interested, and only after this second performance that I had seen, I had an opportunity of talking to a few of them, particularly Titash and Mom. And slowly I could take in the scope, the purpose, the range of activities that they had launched and they had entered with a passion, with a commitment. For this is not an area which will give you awards, recognition, grants, flowing. There are ways to go for them, and when people go for them, they start with compromises. They start with feeding the desires of the masterclass, and the masterclass decides what should happen in the field of creativity and culture, and the more the masters can rule culture, control culture, and keep culture in its place, fixed forever. So to stay out of that, to go roaming around, to go adventuring into other spaces. So when I heard, and I heard it very recently, just a few days ago, that they're doing something with the Kattaikkuttu, and I recall, because I've always been in search, looking for these extraordinary happenings outside the laid down, predefined routes that have been designed, laid out, constitutionalized by the masters. And I discovered Kattaikkuttu back in the early 90s. And I met Hannah and not her husband yet, Rajagopal. They got married later at an earlier phase. And I stayed at the Kattaikkuttu Sangam for 3 days and lived with them. What they were doing at that stage, and that I think should be recalled at this point, is that they found a very neglected group of children all around the place. The parent didn't have time for them. Hard work, hard way to make a living, hard way to survive. And the first thing that Hannah and Rajagopal did, they got the children together and they decided to give them education right from the primary stage and take them through the school. So they would go back to the villages, they would stay with the family, but they stay the whole day at the Kattaikkuttu Kendra. And we saw how they came in the morning and how they settled down and how they got into a rhythm of the life. Different values, different worlds, different experiences that had been denied them in the conditions in which they lived. And opening out to education. I could meet children of different age groups in the different classes already. And with all their education, they were connecting with a very rich cultural form. A form which involves their body, demands the complete engagement of the body with the form. But something that hadn't happened in the tradition of Kattaikkuttu, even Kathakali. I've been to the Kathakali centers, spent time with them, even seen some of the great masters, Krishna Nair and others, legendary figures, seen them perform, great performances. But it was all centered on the performance, on the show, on the master artists demonstrating their power, their prowess, their art. Something to look up to with awe. But to bring that whole experience down to the children, bang, right down to them, so that they could touch it and grow into it. And they were not training to be masters. They were training to acquire an art through which they could express themselves, they could capture old stories and renew them, reabsorb them, bring in their experiences into their old stories. And they could do that only because they had education. Their exposure to the world, their exposure to history, their exposure to life, all these they would bring into that cultural form. So the divide that we have all over between the arts and culture way out there, our life there, and education somewhere else. Education for a career, education for a job, culture for relaxation, entertainment, something extra, something not part of an unbroken continuity. At Kattaikkuttu, the 3 days I spent there, that is what I adored, how the children getting educated, and with education, bringing in the education into their art, so they all become one continuous experience. And the art is enriched in the process. The art doesn't follow the rote of tradition. It's not a question of adoring the tradition or valorizing the tradition. It's always critiquing the tradition, engaging with the tradition, changing the tradition, twisting the tradition to our life, to our experiences. And when a group like Samuho relates to this experience, I think it is an opening out for Kattaikkuttu and for Samuho at both levels. Kattaikkuttu, with all the foreign tours, etc., haven't really got the chance of engaging directly with a different kind of activity where at the center of the experience is the woman, the queer. This is something that the Kattaikkuttu has not really been exposed to. At a point of time, very late in this long history that I've been following from the 90s, mid-90s actually, till now, this is for them also not just bringing in women, introducing women, but in this engagement and outside Tamil Nadu, in another extreme part of India. So this is how culture should evolve and revolve. Not just following the old route, but changing, acquiring, enriching one another, sharing, and creating something very different. So I'm looking forward to the difference that is going to take on from here. So I think this occasion is an occasion to celebrate. We are at the moment of a beginning, and I'm so happy that you let me be a small part of it. Thank you so much. Thank you, Shamu. And thank you, Victoria Memorial.
Thank you, Shamigda. As usual, it's a great pleasure listening to you. Not only is it a pleasure, it's a learning experience. So every session that we spend with you is a learning experience of some sorts, and today has been no different. So the formal part of the opening of this exhibition is over. Thank you very much, Shamigda. Thank you very much, Kathakali. And then the exhibition is now open for the next today, the rest of it, and the next 2 days for everyone to witness. And you want to say something?
Yeah. So I just, before concluding, I just wanted to mention that Victoria Memorial Hall is presenting us, and we are enormously grateful for this opportunity. And this would not be possible without the support of Narthaki and Srimati Anita Ratnam, who really supported us to process this part of the exhibition. And definitely Kathakali Di and Paramita Di, who really took it on them to present us with different opportunities, and we went and we talked, and it was their good words that helped us move forward. Shomikda for being here, Dr. Shengupto, Mr. Raman for continuing this journey with us and really pampering us with this wonderful, wonderful space. Thank you so much. We couldn't ask for more for this occasion. Thank you.
I just want to add that we don't pamper. We don't pamper unless we know that there is something in it, that there is a new avenue that is opening out. And to that extent, Victoria Memorial Hall, at least in this phase, is focusing on partnerships. And we are partnering other organizations in opening new avenues in the field of culture, something which has not happened before or something which has met with obstacles. There are a lot of usual things that go on, but alongside, we need to also partner some organizations in such kind of activities. As long as we are able to do it, we shall continue to do it. Thank you very much for allowing us to be a part of this experience.
চলে যাচ্ছে, বাচ্চা খাওয়াতে খাওয়াতে বাচ্চাটাকে রেখে লাভ দিয়ে করে রোলটা করে দিল।